About 30 minutes ago, something happened that most people still don't fully understand. And by the time this video ends, you will. Because what just happened is not just another strike, not another headline, not another damaged facility added to a growing list. This feels different. This feels like a turning point, a moment where this conflict may have crossed into something far more serious. Because this time, the target wasn't just military. It wasn't just energy. It was something far more basic, water. And if you think you already understand what that means, stay with me, because you don't. Not yet. There's one number I want you to keep in your mind. 4 million. Roughly 4 million people across Tel Aviv and nearby coastal areas woke up today depending on a system already under pressure. Hospitals were already strained. Emergency systems were already stretched. Supplies were already being carefully managed. And yet, there was still something working. One remaining operational source supporting a large part of the water supply. One system still holding the line until now. Reports suggest that this key facility was hit, but this wasn't just a standard strike. This wasn't a single explosion targeting one point. The nature of the attack matters, because different weapons don't just destroy differently, they send different messages. And in this case, the damage appears widespread, not isolated, not limited, but distributed across the entire facility. Normally, when a single warhead hits a facility, it creates a central point of destruction, one major impact zone. Damage spreads outward. Some systems fail, but others might survive. And that matters, because survival of even part of a system means something can be restored, something can be repaired, something can come back online. But this time, the damage pattern suggests something else. Multiple impact points. Multiple systems affected simultaneously, which changes everything. Because when every part of a system is hit at once, you're not dealing with repair. You're dealing with replacement. Modern water systems are incredibly complex. They're not just pipes and pumps. They're networks of intake system, filtration units, treatment processes, high-pressure distribution systems, digital control infrastructure, all working together. If one part fails, you can sometimes work around it. If many parts fail at once, the system stops completely. This is where things become serious. Because water is not like energy. You can survive without electricity for hours, even days. You cannot survive without water, not for long. Water is immediate. Water is daily. Water is survival. Right now, there is still water in the system. In pipes, in storage, in reserves. But here's the problem. That supply is finite, and without production, without treatment, without distribution, once it's gone, it's gone. This is where the story shifts, because this is no longer about infrastructure. This is about people, families, hospitals, communities. Hospitals need clean water for surgery, sterilization, dialysis, emergency care. Without it, the system doesn't just slow down, it begins to fail. Hospitals are usually the first to feel this and the hardest hit, because they don't just need water, they need clean, treated, reliable water, and they need it constantly. Without it, critical treatments stop infection, risks rise. Emergency care becomes limited, and these effects don't take weeks. They begin within hours. The international response is already beginning. Statements are being made. Warnings are being issued. Aid discussions are starting. But here's the reality. Logistics take time. Transport takes time. Coordination takes time. And time is exactly what this situation doesn't have much of. This is where the bigger picture comes in. Because this wasn't just about damage. It was about signaling. A message that critical systems are no longer off limits, a message that escalation is continuing, and a message that the rules may be changing. Modern conflicts are evolving. They are no longer limited to battlefields. They target systems, energy systems, supply chains, infrastructure, and now potentially water systems. Governments think in days, weeks, months, but the human body doesn't. Without water, the timeline is measured in days, and that changes everything, because it forces decisions. Fast decisions, high-pressure decisions. So now the question is no longer, what was hit? The real question is, what happens next? Because once essential systems are affected, the consequences don't stay contained. They spread. For years, wars were fought over land, then over resources, then over power. But what we may be seeing now is something different. A shift toward targeting the systems that keep everyday life functioning. Because when water becomes part of the battlefield, everything changes. Not just for governments, not just for militaries, but for millions of ordinary people. And the most important question is no longer about strategy. It's about survival. Because if this is the direction this conflict is heading, then this may not just be another escalation. This may be the moment everything changed.